welcome to another Chris the Fish 03 video. In this one we're going to be going on about DIY sponge filters, and I'm going to attempt to try and make my own. Wish me luck. Right, so here's a little project. I bought some sponges off Wish, but unfortunately they weren't complete, so I've had to go for the DIY anyway. Now, although I've got a load of tiles, I've got some rapid setting cement in the shed. So I've seen you use the bottom of a bottle, put cement in it, have your drilled tube with a couple of nails at the bottom just to give it that bit of grip. But I'm going to try and get some more cement. If that one does work, I'm going to try and do these instead of the tiles because they'll be a lot more secure. Alright, so when you've ordered like 20 odd sponge filters off Wish and you think, yeah, sweet, and then realise after when they show up that the picture's false and they don't come complete, it is literally just the sponge, you're stuck to doing your DIY anyway. Now I've had the idea also, bottle caps, top and bottom, put the inner tube into one and then let the air come out of the other hole. So there's one way to do it. Obviously I've also got a load of tiles which are here. Now I've got some 6x6 tiles, it's the only thing I could get my hands on. So yeah, might look a little bit odd, but at the same time, beggars can't be choosers. So we're going to try the cement idea and see if that works first. Alright, so I'm happy to report that the first one has worked. So now we've got the weight, we've just got to put the sponges on and do the top. Alright, so another model I've tested, it seems to work. Siliconed a bottle lid onto the tile and then silicone the tube to the bottle lid. Now all I've got to do with this one, drop the sponges on, put the cap on, job done. You got a sponge filter done? Yes mate. Same with this one, the concrete has worked, absolutely solid. Sponge, sponge, put the cap on the top, job done. So now we've got two different styles of how we can make a sponge filter. You've got holes all the way around, then put sponges on. Obviously I've got to drill a hole into the top of there to put the air hose in, the air line, clip it on top, job done. That actually looks a lot better. Obviously I'll line it up better as well, but that looks better than that one. I think that one needs trimming a bit, but again I'm not keen on the whole silicone thing because it's not exactly strong. But then just in case, I have got a load of bottle bottoms which I've cut off. I've just got to get some more concrete. Right then, so now we've got the hole drilled, get your air line, go squeeze it in, make sure it's a nice tight fit, and then as it comes through, pull it out the other side, and then you'll put air stone on the end and that will drop to the bottom of the sponge filter. Alright, so your best bet when you attach the air stone, before you put it all in, just check against it so that when you put it in, you know it's going to drop straight to the bottom. And there you go, completed. There's one double done. Now we've got to get this one running, and then we've got all these singles to make as well. Okay, so finally got my parcel, so I'm going to cut it up and then I'll open it. Yippee! Because we have now got the new air pump, which is going to be going up there, having piping coming around and doing sponge filters throughout the entire fish room. And there it is in all its glory. Our massive new Helia V60 air pump does 60 litres a minute. So yeah, that will be powerful enough to do the sponge filters all the way around. And as you can see, I've already got two of them pretty much done. Trying to get it all done while I'm at work as well. So yeah, next job is setting it all up and getting the pipe work done. So these are the attachments that it comes with. Obviously that one screws onto the front, and then you got the tube to come off and go into the manifold, which does 10 air pumps, air stones or filters or whatever you want to use it on. But obviously I'm going to be having it up here. You have the PVC piping going up and coming around the room. Obviously I've got to try and have it come down here and across here. Haven't 100% decided on how I'm going to get it all set up yet. Oh, by the way, follow me on Instagram, ChristerFish03, all one word. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all one word, ChristerFish03. And while you're there, hit subscribe. But yeah, as I says, obviously I've got to bring it down here, across there, so I might not have it as a closed loop. Might be capped off on one end, come across, come up, come down here, round and across. So then that way I can do this tank, that tank, which I might be moving up here once I eventually get the light switch moved. And then obviously I've got the tote. I'm having a new tank coming pretty much, well, you never know, it might even be here by the time this video's out. So this tank will be going, and I've got a new one coming, a bigger one for the flower horns. Then it will be doing that tank, that tank, that tank. So yeah, you get the idea. And would you believe, straight off the back, that fits on proper tight. So that's the 22mm speed fit piping, which I've got loads of. So we know what pipe we're going to be using. Alright, so I've put the first double sponge that I made with the concrete base in. And so far, for the first test, it's working straight away. Always a good sign. Okay, so now that I've had the time to get back to it, I've got a load of the tubes, all for my singles, measured, drilled, cut. I've even got a few of the ends which I've drilled and sorted. So hopefully this will work. Now the tile one didn't work, it just shattered apart. But I have got my cups and I've also got a bag of cement. So hopefully we can get these bases made and job's a good one. Right, so there we have it. We've got the concrete bases done, tubes are in, so now we've just got to leave it for a few days to set. Well, needless to say, my concrete bases didn't work. As soon as I picked them up, they just freaking crumbled and fell apart. So back to square one. So I've got the air pump hooked up, air hose is in. Look at the power on them. That's just taking the big one off. Okay, so for now I've put the idea of the loop on hold. So what I've done in the meantime, I've got the big pump up here. Looks a bit of a mess and an eyesore, but still, either way, it does the job. I've got all these valves in here just to reduce the flow a bit, but this one pump is running 2 air stones in there, 2 air pumps in there, 2 sides of a bubble curtain and an air stone in that one. It's got air stone, it's got a sponge filter in this one, sponge filter in this one as well. And then over this side we've got 1, 2 and 3 all running off that double pump. So hopefully that will save me a lot more money, because I've taken out 4 of the air pumps and an extension lead as well. So that one there, as I say, is doing all this side. Obviously I'll need to tidy it all up and just mod it around a bit, because this is just, you know, like the rough idea of how it's going to work. But yeah, so far so good. It seems to be working, and as you can see, I've got an absolutely fantastic flow on all of them as well. So yeah, my idea for obviously doing the concrete bases, on this one, it worked. I haven't had a single bother with it, but the 4 that I did before, they just fell apart. The tile one, it smashed and the silicone was rubbish on it, so it just drove me insane. So what I've had to do instead is obviously buy some complete sponge filters, and then with all these extra ones that I've currently got in here, they're all in soak. So when the new ones come, I can just put them sponges on. I can, I don't know, use the new sponges that's come in as extras or spares. I could sell them on. I don't know yet, I haven't got that far. So for now, that's where I'm at with the air system around the fish room. But yeah, so when the new sponge filters come, obviously I'll be taking out all the air stones, I'll be taking out all the internal filters, and then I'll just have the external filters on these 3 big tanks, or the sump on these 2, and then the external on this one. And then obviously on these 2 I will just have the sponge filters. On this one obviously we've also got the external filter. I'll be taking that internal out and changing that air stone to a double sponge filter as well. So yeah, we're getting there slowly. We're quickly able to reduce a load of plugs as well, which hopefully means we'll also be saving energy as well. When it comes to this tank, as I've said before, I want to try and do it where I can try and get all the ornaments out and try and go a bit more natural. So things like this pirate ship, that will be coming out. The tank eventually will be coming out as well. I've got a massive slate cave there, which I'm going to put in place of the pirate ship. And then I've got a little slate cave that I can put there and some more rocks. I'm going to try and go a bit more natural. Obviously the plants I'm going to keep to being fake. I might want to try and get some more bogwood as well. But yeah, like in this one for example, okay, I've got Groot and I've got the barrel, but the barrel's classed as natural I suppose. Groot will be staying just because he's so cool. Bald patches like this, which comes from the internal filter, yes, I could prevent it by putting a spray bar on, but I can't be bothered to mess around with it at the moment because, as I said, it's going to be coming out soon anyway to be replaced by a sponge filter. Then in this one I've just put that little barrel at the back. He's just there because I had some small jewel cichlids in here. To be fair, I haven't seen them since they've gone in. Don't know if they're still alive or whether the others have attacked them or what, but we'll wait and see what happens. Right, so that's where we're at the moment then with the sponge filters. We're waiting for them to be delivered, and we've got the new air pump up and running, as you've already seen. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.